Greetings fellow ukuleleans, Jeff Weinberger coming at you here with a new ukulele tutorial. Today I'd like to talk about a particular scale that's one that I'm very fond of, and it's called the C minor blues scale. So I guess we have to define our terms to kick this off and talk about what exactly does that mean, the minor blues scale. There's a lot of information out there about blues and scales and pentatonic scales, blues scales, blue notes, etc. But unfortunately, there's a little bit of fake news out there. There's a little bit of misinformation, or just people, doing the best they can, but they might not have studied formal music theory in college, or they might not be the product of a music conservatory or something like that. And so they're just kind of self-taught, and they give their own names to things. And, that's okay. A lot of us are self-taught, or that we, pass knowledge on to each other, and we might not have the exact right name of things. That's okay. But I want to get this straight. The minor blues scale is a scale that contains the root of a key. In this case, we did C minor blues scale, so it has a C note. It has the flatted third, and that's the note E flat. You have got the fourth, which is the note F. You've got the flatted fifth, the blue note. That's the official, universally sanctioned and accepted blue note, the flatted fifth. You've got the regular fifth, or natural fifth. You've got the flatted seventh. Oh, and by the way, that flatted fifth was G flat, and the natural fifth is G. And then you've got B flat, the flatted seventh, and finally the root again, C, an octave higher. So here's the whole scale. I'll play it slow for you. Sure you've heard that sound before. That's a very familiar sound in popular music. It's not just blues either. You hear it tons in rock, you hear it in folk music, you hear it in music of other countries, ethnic musics that have some blues to them, So it's not just a blues thing. And I have a low G on my ukulele. I have this fine Fremont Soloist low G, which I love. It's excellent. It's made of metal, but it's squeakless and doesn't have those windings that most metal strings have that make that squeaking sound. These are great. Big, full, rich sound, a lot of tone, a lot of body, a lot of sustain, and it don't squeak. $4, I think. It's $4 for one string, but I'm pretty happy with it. So just so you know, I have a low G on my ukulele today. So I could get an extra G, and I could get an extra B flat. So if I do that, I have a 4-string scale. So that's cool. You can kind of get a little more guitar-like that way. With that low G, you're able to extend your range and get into that guitar territory. All right, so the names of the notes: C, E flat, F, G flat, G, B flat, C. That's all you need. And you saw in the intro there, I snuck up to the 6th fret. I got an extra E flat out of it. So that might be something that you want to do too when you play the scale, is just sneak up to that 6th fret on your A string. And you can get an extra high note. So we're extending our range. We're trying to expand how many notes we have available to us by going lower with my low G and higher with the 6th fret added to it. You don't have to play the 6th fret. You could leave that out and it's still a perfectly good scale. By the way, I don't have my strap today. I just changed my strings and I took the strap off, so I'm holding my ukulele. I want to point out to those of you who may be beginners or just kind of new to playing this instrument, it's kind of not a good idea to hold the instrument up with your right hand like this or with your left hand like this. A strap makes all the difference in the world. I should practice what I preach, but most of the time you see me with a strap. And that holds the instrument up, so I don't have to do this. This is bad technique. This inhibits my ability to really play the instrument the way I would like to, because I'm too busy holding it. So all I can do is kind of use my thumb like that, and it's just not good technique. All right, so anyway, that's a little aside. That thing that I was playing could have been over just a C chord, but it could also be over a full 12-bar blues in C. And what is a 12-bar blues in C? Well, generally it's going to be the chords C7, F7, and G7 put in a particular order, known as the 12-bar blues. I'll show you one version of the 12-bar blues that I call the quick change. This is not the simple blues where you stay on one chord for a really long time. This is the quick change where you go quickly from one to the other. So we have C7 for one measure. You can use like a down-up shuffle strum. Like that. That'll get you through. Then very quickly after that measure we get to an F7. In case you don't know it, a good easy one is 2, 3, 1, 0. Back to C7 for two measures. F7 for 2. C7 for 2. G7 for 1. F7 for 1. C7 for 1. And G7 for 1. And oftentimes we put a turnaround there. Robert Johnson turnaround or that sort of thing. That can be fun. And someday I'll show you some turnarounds. But in the meantime, if you lay down that rhythm, that 12-bar blues in C that I was just doing, that would give you an opportunity to practice your C minor pentatonic and C minor blues scales. And by the way, pentatonic scales are 5-note scales. They're just like the blues scale minus the blue note. So in case you need to know it, C minor pentatonic goes like this. C, E flat, F, G, no G flat in there, that's the blue note, B flat, C, 5 notes. We don't count C twice, C is just C, so it is truly a 5-note scale. Pentatonic is a Greek word for 5-note, pentatonic. So that would be the pentatonic, and then the blues scale adds the blue note. So let me start you guys off by I'm going to lay down a 12-bar blues using those 3 chords in that particular format that we were doing. You can play the chords along with me if you'd like, or you can explore that C minor blues scale. You can play that on top and improvise and make up some solos and some licks. So here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, C7, F7, C7, F7, C7, G7, F7, C7, G7. Let's do another one. C7. Couple rounds of a 12-bar blues in C. And you can get lots of backing tracks online if you wanted to search around for 12-bar blues in C. You'll find lots of backing tracks you can either download or just listen to on something like YouTube or Spotify or Apple Music. And it will play something like what I just did and what we did together. It might have bass, it might have drums, it might have keyboards. There's all kinds of different backing tracks. And on top of that, you can have loads of fun. So say that backing track is playing, or you're recorded yourself playing a 12-bar blues for 5 minutes or something like that. And then on top of that, you can go... improvise your heart out and just make up your own little licks. They can have 2 notes. You can just take a 2-note motif and go like this. You can make a lot of music with just 2 notes, or you can use more than 2 notes. That was 4 notes, etc. You can bend, you can vibrato. Get that stinging B.B. King thing going on there, or Albert King, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Buddy Guy, Eric Clapton, great stuff. So vibrato, bends, slides, all these are little expressive techniques that we have. Hammer-ons and pull-offs. All kinds of stuff. Alright, ukulele people, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that the C minor blues scale is something you can use in the future. It's definitely one of my favorites. I will tab it out. I will make it available on my Patreon, which I will put down below for you to link to. This time it's going to be a freebie. You don't have to pay a penny. You just download that tab and have yourselves a ball. Alright, ukulele people, take care. Bye-bye.